Now what we've got here, and sorry if you can hear the noise of my fan in the background, I am absolutely sweltering in this room with the summit, so no air conditioning, so we've literally got to keep the fan on. But what you can see here is in the upper section, this is as the footage exists on my computer, and then in the lower section where it says after YouTube upload is after it's been uploaded to YouTube, we've then downloaded it from YouTube to compare with the before and after to show you what YouTube does to the footage and whether it likes clean footage, which is on the left hand side, neat video plugin, and what it does to uncleaned footage if it has noise when you upload it to YouTube. So the best way to kind of do this is to not necessarily show you back here. We need to zoom in and we need to slow things down. So let's do it on this bit because this is very noisy. So it's a good example. So now I've slowed the footage down to 2%. So you can see that in the original footage, uncleaned, there's a lot of obviously blue-green noise, which is completely removed by the Neat Video plugin on the left. But then after you upload it to YouTube and download it, YouTube is basically the uncleaned footage. It's darkened it down a lot, and it's an even worse kind of situation from a mush point of view because you can hardly see what's there at all now. But as you can see on the Neat Video plugin, when you clean it with Neat Video on the left hand side, in the upper section you can see it's obviously clean, it's been cleaned by Neat Video, but when you look at what you've got after it's been transmitted to YouTube and downloaded in the lower section, it's still very visible what you've got. Whereas if you go to YouTube with unclean footage on the right hand side in the upper and you upload it in the download section, you see after download in the lower right, the uncleaned has gone to the dogs, completely gone to the dogs. Now to show you this a little bit more, I'm going to zoom into the center section and we'll watch a little bit more. So now let's zoom in 300% and have a look at the pixels. So you can see that obviously the footage from the cleaned up version after it goes to YouTube is a lot cleaner on the left hand side, whereas things are starting to break up and you're not seeing good quality lines, you're seeing a lot of color noise, whereas everything's quite stable and solid from a color point of view, from a lines point of view, whereas it's gone to complete mash down on the lower right hand side, which is no cleaning after it's been uploaded to YouTube. So it kind of proves the point, but now we'll speed up the footage a little bit so you can see it working at a bit more normal speed. And for anyone who's wondering what does this mean for me, well, video noise is the equivalent of audio noise. It's like that hiss in the background. It's like that continual noise of my fan in the background. It's that noise that you just don't want to really be hearing. You want to hear just the speaking. You want to hear just the sound effects. You don't necessarily want to hear the hiss of the tape or the hiss of the codec that's been used on your camera or the hiss or the noise of the high ISO. You want just the images, no noise. And that's what noise cleaning with Neat Video gives you. As you can see, very good example. And it's just so much more stable after being re-uploaded to YouTube in the lower left. And absolutely crazy when you upload noise to YouTube in the lower right. So with the speed still slow, let's go back to 100%, and you can see the effect slowed down to a couple of frames a second, and you can definitely see that there's all sorts of artifacts on the YouTube version and the uncleaned original as it was edited on the computer, and you're definitely getting a hell of a lot better time out of uploading stuff with Neat Video plugin and that's how it looks on the lower left after you upload to YouTube. So I hope this makes a point. I hope this makes the point that you really need to get neat video for some of your footage, maybe not all of it. Daytime stuff, you can probably not have to use it for most things, but if you're talking professional broadcast environment or film, you may need to have some sort of cleaning before trying to put something up on a big screen projector, because you will notice on high quality equipment, you will notice the difference a lot. So here we are now, we've got the light on, so things are starting to get better again, but you can see that YouTube is still struggling. YouTube still struggles with the unclean footage. So let's have a little zoom in again, and we can show you that in a slightly better lit environment. Let's zoom in to just 200% this time, and you can kind of get the idea. So much better with a neat video plugin. Still a low light situation for sure. This is not daylight, so the camera's ISO is obviously turned up, but you can just see how things maintain themselves a lot better when you use the neat video plugin. Anyway, there we are. I think I've proved the point, so hopefully you'll go off and buy it. I'll see if I can get you some sort of discount code or something if you say that you came from me. I don't know if they'll do that, but we'll see. If there is something like that comes along, I'll put it in the description below. Also, it's cheaper if you buy it in the United States than in Europe, because VAT will be added, tax will be added, which is usually a lot more. So if you have somebody in the United States that'll buy it for you, I didn't tell you this, but yeah, you're going to save a little bit of money. So yeah, anyway, but of course you'll only use it in the United States, won't you? I didn't suggest that at all, but it is a reality. So have fun, and thanks very much for watching.